In today's video, you will learn how to create and use variables in Qlik Sense to make your applications more dynamic, flexible, and easier to maintain. Our goal is to understand what variables are, how they work, and how they can be used to simplify expressions, improve dashboard functionality, and reduce repetitive development tasks. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create variables, reference them in chart and KPIs, and apply them to real-world business intelligence scenarios. Let's get started. For this video, I am using a retail sales dashboard containing sales data by month, region, and product category. The dashboard also includes KPIs, bar chart, line chart, filters that we will use to demonstrate how variables can make applications more dynamic and easier to maintain. Before we jump into the examples, let's briefly discuss what is a variable. A variable is simple, a container that stores a value or expression. Once created, it can be referenced throughout your application, allowing you to centralize logic and reduce repetitive coding. Let's look at 3 practical examples. Example number 1, dynamic dashboard titles. One common challenge in dashboard development is creating titles that remain relevant as users make selections. For example, if a user selects the East region, we want the dashboard title to reflect that selection automatically. Let's create a variable. We're going to create a variable called vSelectedRegion. We will define that variable as getFieldsSelections, and our field name is region. We will then now bring a text object into our dashboard. And define it as sales dashboard and reference the variable. This variable will capture the user's selected region. Now, instead of using a static title, we can reference the variable within the text object as shown here. Notice that as I change my region selection, the title updates automatically. This creates a more dynamic user experience, eliminating the need for hard-coded titles. Example number 2, reusable KPI expressions. Now let's look at KPIs. Suppose we have multiple objects displaying total sales. Rather than repeating the same expression throughout the application, we can store the calculation in a variable. Let's create a variable called vTotalSales to demonstrate that. Create that variable called vTotalSales and just define it as some sales. So we created a variable vTotalSales. Let's try to assign that variable to our KPI. Now, instead of typing the expression repeatedly, we simply reference that variable inside our KPI object, like this. We reference it inside our KPI object. This approach improves consistency and makes future maintenance much easier. If the business logic changes later, we only need to update the variable once. Example number 3, dynamic business threshold. Our final example involves business rules. Let's assume management has established a monthly sales target of $20,000. Instead of hard-coding this value into multiple charts, we can create a variable. Let's create a variable. We're going to call this variable V sales target, and our target will be $20,000. So we have stored the target inside the variable. Now we can use the variable to drive KPI colors, alert, and performance indicators. Let's define that. Oops. If sum sales is greater than or equals to our variable, remember our variable target is $20,000. Make it green. If not, make it red. Okay? So in another word, we're saying if total sales exceed the target, the KPI can display green. If sales fall below the target, the KPI can display red. This allows business users to update threshold without requiring major dashboard changes. So in this situation, our target is green because it exceeds the target 20,000 that we define in our variable. Variables offer several important benefits. They reduce repetitive coding. They improve consistency across application. They simplify maintenance. They make dashboard more dynamic, and they allow developers to manage business rules from a central location. These advantages become even more valuable as applications grow in size and complexity. Just to recap, we have explored three practical uses for variable in Qlik Sense. First, we use variable to create a dynamic dashboard title, and then we created a reusable KPI expression, and also we use variable to manage rules and thresholds. These are simple techniques that can significantly improve the flexibility and maintainability of your Qlik Sense application. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe for more Qlik Sense tutorials, dashboard development tips, BI workflow strategies, and AI-powered analytics content. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.